We are constantly monitoring the situation in Sudan. The situation on the ground remains highly volatile. Our estimate is that approximately there are 3,500 Indian nationals and about 1,000 odd PIOs in Sudan. Third ship, INS Tarkash, has also reached Port Sudan. We have two C-130J aircraft standing in Jeddah for more sorties later during the day. There have been evacuation requests from other nationalities also. We have had excellent support and cooperation from the Saudi authorities for that. We are constantly monitoring the situation in Sudan ever since the conflict broke out there between the Sudanese armed forces and the rapid support forces, which was on April 15th. Thereafter, just to give you a flavor of the ground situation, several times ceasefires have been declared from both sides. Many of those ceasefires were not honored. Some of them were honored partially. The last ceasefire announced of 72 hours is holding by and large, but there has been feedback of some sporadic firing and fighting going on in some parts of Khartoum. Also, as a result of that, the situation on the ground remains highly volatile. So when we talk about Operation Kaveri, naturally there would be a degree of focus on number of Indians who are stuck in Sudan, how many have come back, how many we are planning to bring back, which is a very significant and probably the most important consideration for Government of India. Our estimate is that approximately there are 3,500 Indian nationals and about 1,000 odd PIOs in Sudan. As I said, these numbers are approximate numbers, and it is our effort to put as much specificity to those numbers as we can as we go along. And some of these numbers keep fluctuating depending, or rather keep getting added depending upon who reaches out to the embassy, considering that they are all scattered, not just all over Khartoum city, but also in many parts of Sudan. Two naval ships have also been positioned as part of Government of India efforts. INS Sumedha was the first one to dock, picked up roughly 300 odd Indians yesterday, brought them to Port Jeddah, and is today back in Port Sudan to fetch the next group of Indians and bring them to safe harbors. Yesterday, the other ship, INS Teg, also docked at Port Sudan, bringing, of course, our control room team and additional resources which were required for this purposes of bringing back the stranded Indians. I'm informed that third ship, INS Tarkash, has also reached Port Sudan today as part of our efforts. As we speak, we have a situation that roughly in total 600 odd people, Indian nationals, have either arrived in India or are on their way. So 360 of them arrived by a charter Saudi Arabia flight yesterday night. Another 246 are being flown to Maharashtra state in a commissioned C-17 flight. We currently have approximately, give some leeway on the numbers, approximately 495 Indian nationals who are in Jeddah. As of now that we speak, these numbers will either go up or come down depending upon the flows in from Port Sudan and depending upon the evacuation from Jeddah to India. Also, as we speak, there are 320 Indian nationals who are in Port Sudan currently stationed. We have more number of buses moving from Khartoum city to Port Sudan. And as I said, INS Sumeda, our ship is already there. INS Tarkash is about to dock there. We have two C-130J aircraft standing in Jeddah for more sorties later during the day. It is also our understanding, again more to the question of ANI in terms of citizens of other countries. The numbers that we have is that there have been evacuation requests from other nationalities also. So from our side, we are willing to provide and offer all possible assistance to everybody who approaches us for such an assistance. Of course, this is subject to the fulfillment of all the procedures which may be required to be completed because there is a transit country involved in this case, Saudi Arabia. We have been working very closely with the government of Saudi Arabia, the leadership of Saudi Arabia, and they have been extremely helpful, supportive and cooperative in this endeavor, and we are extremely grateful to them for that because the positioning of our control room in Jeddah, providing of our assets who would bring back the stranded Indians in Jeddah, whether they are of Air Force or Navy, we have had excellent support and cooperation from the Saudi authorities for that. And as EM himself tweeted yesterday, we are extremely grateful to them for that.